Yeah. But neon out the mud. Before I get it out the mud, I stay on top of my fitness and hit the shower, clean it up, and then get back to the business. I don't care about who did it, I ain't worried who didn't. I head directly to the back, so I'll be there in a minute. I got expensive taste, the rollie got a different face. For surely I be in them places, they won't let you pass the gate. Post it up, sipping $1,000 scotches with the rock in it.
Perfect.
Don't bite that thing, Tony.
Don't poke that thing. Now you sound like my fucking prom date. What the fuck? I just went back fucking 30 years.
Oh my God.
33 years. Holy shit. Fuck.
33?
Let's not even say that out loud.
Fuck.
33 years.
Bro, I'm 51.
31.
51.
Boston Tony, entrenched in the game. Episode 26, the How You Doing Show.
Yeah. How you doing?
How you doing? You been out here a while.
Fuck.
Damn, I'm on.
Well-traveled.
I'm old to these streets.
Been around a little while.
These
High
streets are old to
Times
me.
Cup. What was it? 2012 you told me?
2012 to 2019. We had a really good run. We won
Fucking
a
goat.
lot
The
of
goat.
cups, a lot of companies, a lot of different categories, from edibles to our pre-roll to the strawberry banana to, you know, I mean, a lot of great things that we did, a lot of great strains, a lot of lucky runs, a lot of great teams and good times, bro. Absolutely.
I was going to say, you said weed. Did you have like a guy doing like the edibles with you and some guy like that?
So
was a genetics
we
guy
had,
and-
well, yeah, absolutely. So what where it started, right, is like, you know, we all started our little grows and we had our little grows. Okay. Actually,
we got to take it way back before this.
let's just, yeah, we how do we do this, right? Yo, shoot your eye out. Fucking,
We got to go back to the prom years.
as a kid, you know, I am an energetic, crazy motherfucker.
No.
Right? Like I'm just, let's go, let's get it. But I don't drink coffee, no tea, no tobacco, no, you know, I try to stay away from soda. If it's a soda, bro, it's like probably a Sprite at most, you know, maybe a root beer every now and again. But for the most part, you know, I'm like orange juice every guy. Like, that's it. That's all I need is my OJ. I wake up out of bed, like, I'm ready. My eyes pop open and I'm like, let's kill the world.
Tropicana.
So no Tropicana.
No
it's
pulp?
Uncle Matt's, only Uncle Matt's.
Pulp?
No, I can have pulp. Pulp doesn't bother me. But Uncle Matt's tastes like an orange. It's real. It's real orange juice. There's nothing fake about it. No additives, no bullshit.
Not watered down.
But anyways,
Squeeze it and suck it.
so weed for me has always been a way to, you know, I consume copious amounts of marijuana, but really it just keeps me balanced so that I'm not so overbearing. I'm already overbearing enough. Can you imagine if I didn't use marijuana, which is supposed to sedate you
And didn't
keep
take
you
the edge off?
relaxed? Like, could you imagine dealing with me on that level? Fucking roar. So
I don't know if I would have reached out so willingly.
I wasn't putting my hand in that fucking water. So, like, for me, weed's just always been my friend. You know what I mean? Just always been my friend. But for me, it's always been a social thing, too. You know, I always loved smoking with people. I never loved smoking by myself. It was always odd to me. It was never, you know, I was never the guy sitting at home smoking a bowl. It just was always a social thing. But for me, in high school, it was hockey, football. It was other things focused on. It was more of like a backseat sort of thing, you know? And then, of course,
Get people together type thing.
in my day, weed's highly illegal. It's not cool. It's not copacetic whatsoever. So now you come to a point where I meet my wife, we have kids, and like you got the school involved in your life and children. And so weed's like now a dead factor, a backseat. Got nothing to do with it. And so now I'm watching outside in the real world as I'm the dude punching the clock, going to work every day, coming home tired,
Is this throughout like late 20s to 30s?
dealing with the kids, my wife, both of us just, life's got you, the one vacation to Disney every year, just the typical, right? And I'm watching out here in this lane, weeds getting legalized, 96, 97, it's on, 98's full board, 99's crazy, 2000's crazy, High Times Cannabis Cups, everything's just going like, fuck yeah, and weeds just taking off, right? And so here's something that I excelled at when I was 13, was always good at growing it, just being a part of it, smoking it, enjoying it, just being able to taste things that most people didn't see or realize were there. And, and I'm kind of feeling some sort of way, and my wife says to me, if you can get a medical card, you can grow again. And Massachusetts comes on board in 2012, right? And so we get a med card. So I go right down and get my med card. I'm nervous the day of getting my card, because
you think it's a trap.
I'm trying to, no, so I don't think it's a trap. I'm just trying to be sick enough to get this fucking card, So it's like, here's me trying to, right, on my back, my leg, my pain, my sciatica, I'm nervous, I can't sleep, whatever the fuck I could come up with, right?
My God, I thought this out.
I had it that week, you know what I mean? Like
dragging his leg when he gets out
I
of
went
the
and got doctor's notes, I went and got prescriptions, anything, because I was going to make sure I got this card. You know what I mean?
Somebody opened the car door for him, walked him in.
I go in there,
wheelbarrow.
right? Now, I've gone through all this bullshit, right? I'm feeling so anxious. And I go in, and the doctor's like, oh, how do you feel? Yeah, okay. So, I see you got this, because they have you fill everything out. They see it ahead of time. So he's just like, okay, yep, you're cleared. Boom, give us your $250, bitch. And I'm like,
a mill.
that's it? Like, fucking what? It was so easy. It was too easy. It
Here's
was almost
500.
like,
Can I have
what
two?
the fuck? Yeah, right? So it was $250 for the card. So I get the card now, and now I get the paper in the mail, and I'm legit. And so I start growing the hippie killer and the cheese rack, And so I said to my wife, I convinced her. I'm like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We just need one, because at the time I'm buying weed, I'm buying headies, and it's like 300 an ounce. Yep. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't growing or doing anything. I wasn't in. So I said to the wife, okay, we're just going to go out and get this 110. That's all we need. It's 4x4. You know what I mean? One light. I'll do 5 plants. We're good, babe. We'll have plenty of weed. We nothing to worry about. We're good, right? So I go buy this little mother tent, they call it. It's this little square tent. So I can do vegging and, get them to come up. And I go get a little cloner. And then I go get the 4x4 and I get a 1,000-watt light, ventilate the whole thing, right? They got a whole kit. I go down to HDG. Get it all set up, like boom, boom, boom. Get that that grow out, right? That grow comes out, and it just, I banged it out, just banged it. It was like I'd never stopped. It was amazing, and so everybody's like, "Oh, bro, what the fuck, yo? Let me get some of this. Let me get some of this." And so it was like, next thing I knew, all the weed was sold,
gone.
And so it turned out to be like, well, wait a minute, that was supposed to be for me. But everybody was offering me $300 an ounce. I'll give you $300 for an ounce. I'll give you $300 for an ounce. Oh fuck! So I sold all the weed. You know what I mean? And so I had
care of the patients.
I made a good amount, and so now I'm like, all right, cool. I look at the wife, and I'm like, babe, we're gonna get 2 tents. We're just gonna have 2 tents. One for us, and one so my friends can have some weed too. Because that was my true intention.
So it begins.
And bro,
I swear it's only 6 tenths.
Here
It's
we
just
go.
6. They're right behind each other. You can't even tell. It's still only 2.
So it ends up, dude, this is how, and then my buddy says to me, yo, you got to get the RDWC. You got to do this. It's amazing. Shit just takes off. Meanwhile, we won High Times. That 2012, we got the hippie killer, the cheese rack, crushed it. My boys are running around with it, one wild. Everybody in Mass is buying all my trim. I'm getting $150 an ounce on the trim. They're using it to blast it, entering it into Dab Wars at the time that Mike Clinton was running. So it was just, it got crazy quick.
What year was this, Tony?
2012.
2012.
2013. So now.
So you already came in, started growing, bam, in the cup. Win the cup.
So now we get cup
out of the basement.
The homie says, yo, you got to come out and start judging cups and stuff. You know what I mean? We'd love to have you. And then the next thing I know, bro, I'm running the VIP tent for High Times Cannabis Cups, you know, and then whatever cups we entered, we won. You know, we had the door swing wide open, and it was just like a cavalcade of insanity that just flew through. And it started with, you know, me just kind of feeling some sort of way, a little left out, I guess you could say, and being like, yo, I'm just going to get one tent. And one tent turned into...
Honey, I just need 20 acres. Just 20 acres. You can't even tell.
You know, 20 acres is nice, but 40 acres is so much better.
The first 10 acres is to hide the other 10. Nobody's going to know.
Listen, tomatoes are a reason you need to grow. Right. What are you talking about? I don't, you know.
So 2013, that's like probably like almost one of the last times you could get $300 an ounce out this way, right?
No, actually that lasted a while, bro. I want to say all the way up until 2017. If you had good flower, we were still getting really good money for really good flower. And now it seems like flower is tanked, you know. This is like a long conversation for extraction and the way things have gone and to where we are now. But it's not so much that it's tanked as much as it is just overabundant. And, you know, there's not a plethora of well-grown flower that doesn't go to some type of extraction right away, because really that's all that's looked to be done with it today. So...
Why do you think that's so? The regs? The hard regs?
No, I just, you know what I mean? Like, look at BHO... hydrocarbon had a great run, and yet, you know, it's demonized today as if it's something horrible because so many shitty grows were remediated, and the remediated was CR seed, and the CR seed was, you know, basically to the point where that remediation was, oh, we can give away jars and reintroduce terps, and now you can get a ounce of live resin for $100, you know, and we were getting $1,400 for an ounce of live resin. You know what I mean? Good nug run, top shelf, fire, true live resin, you know, and we bottomed out that market, you know. And, you know, the way I look at hash rosin is it's easier to get water and ice than it is to license a lab in a $250,000 machine and to run any type of hydrocarbon. So it was easy to make that transition. Hash has always been there. Water hash, Jorge Cervantes with his book and his video, and him with the whipping in the orange bucket. And like, you know, we've always been making melt and air drying and 5-star. It's just more prevalent now to people because they're paying attention to weed more now. You know what I mean? But extraction with weed is, you know, we've taken it to this level, on the rosin level, where now we're doing the same exact thing to rosin that we did to hydrocarbon. And we're stripping the life out of it and turning it into, you know, $12, $18, $20 grams. And it's insanity because, you know, when you think about it, it's, you go to a doctor or a lawyer or anybody and you give them any of your time, it's thousands of dollars. But as a grower, you're supposed to come out here and you're supposed to, you know, go find this pack of seeds and you're supposed to pop it. And you're supposed to find this miracle pill in this 10-pack or 20 or 30 or 50-pack, whatever it is. And then you're supposed to nurture that and cultivate it and bring it up. And, you know, now you've taken 4 weeks, you know, picking this one out and mothering it up and taking cuts from it. And there's 4 weeks of your life right there, right? So you're like, fuck, we're just at intro. And then you throw it in and you grow it out. And now you get it to its best form. And, you know... It's 8 weeks there just to flower and get her. And now you got to harvest her and take her down and freeze her and then wash her. And then,
Jesus, you're getting intimate with this thing.
So, well, it's one of those things where we have all this work that gets done for this end product. And I'm supposed to give it to you for $20 fucking. And it's like, man, is this even
You think that's
realistic?
because it's domino effect? First the BHO,
overgrow. It's the overgrow.
Bottomed
it's
out.
larger.
Then the
it's
flowers.
larger overgrowing.
Now the flowers bottoming out, and everybody's like, "Well, fuck it, let me get in the rosin."
Been bottomed, but it's not, because you can still get 150 an eighth in one of those, you know, black jars with a pretty sticker if it's a exotic flavor. So no, the market's still there for people. Absolutely. I see it and live in it every day. The market is still there for people. You know,
The average consumer market.
The average consumer is
like the mids, the Reggie.
But see, you say mids or Reggie,
quality.
right? So
there's an ass for every seat.
So
you know what I mean?
You basically are like, okay, somebody's buying Budweiser every day. But you know, you go on a cruise and the guy wants to Don Julio, and like there's so you know, or you equate it to like the guy who buys a Toyota, right, or a Honda, and you're like, oh, you got a mid-level car. He's got a car that works really well, but it's the same thing as yours. But you got a Mercedes. You paid $75,000. He paid $30,000.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's 4 fucking tires. It turns a key and it goes back and forth to work. You know what I mean? So like that's where the lost translation in marijuana, where people are like, well, I should only have to pay $20 for that gram. They don't understand why that gram's $100 versus this gram that's $20.
That's what I was just going to go into.
They don't see the difference because the education and the understanding for the average consumer isn't there to know the difference that that's a Mercedes gram and that's a Toyota gram. You know what I mean?
How do they get that? How do you break that in?
Well, you know, you would hope that the regular white market would have done that. But what you created in the white market, and here we go. Here's, you know, the Tony everyone's going to fucking hate. How do I say it?
Tony, I've never seen you like this.
Well, you know, I want to be nice. We're on air, right? We want to be nice. So, look, at the end of the fucking day, you got a bunch of fucking dildos that came the fuck in, right? I'm going to be as nice as I can. I'm being nice.
Oh, my God. I thought you were 180 on me. I was like, wow, this guy's all fucking taut.
He's just tried to clean it
You
up.
literally got a bunch of guys that come in with their money. They're like going to make millions of dollars on fucking weed. And so they come in here swinging their big old fucking dick. I got a license in Massachusetts, bro. I went and got one of the first licenses or the best license, or I got a license that can do everything, bro. Like it's like a Japanese toilet. I sit down and it just sucks my ass while I'm taking a shit. It's the most wonderful thing. So they got these licenses.
Like an old white
and then
guy
they go out and they're like, oh, bro, I've got the most amazing equipment. I went out and I sucked Billy Bob's dick and got all the most amazing equipment. We went out to fucking Mam J BizCon, bro, and I've got all the best equipment. Bro, we've spent $27 million fucking dollars for this facility. It's one of the top facilities in the fucking world. It's amazing.
Dude, come back in, Tony.
Okay?
Come back in.
And so it's like, all right, cool. You went out and you crushed it and you did all this. And then you're like, but we've got a standard SOP with shitty fucking slide trays and a grower for 80 to 120K a year that we look at as a professional. And then we have a shitty outcome and a shitty product that we have to remediate and give to the public for no money. Then we cry black market outcry of like, oh, the black market's destabilizing us. It's because of them. We're not making any fucking profits. The reality of the situation is bro, you went and bought a fucking Bugatti and you pulled up to the gas station, filled it with 87. She seized up on you and you were like, why? Like, what the fuck?
Spun a rod.
Legitimately, like, go out and find the guy who's crushing it on the black market. Give that motherfucker $500,000 out of that $23 million fucking dollars you spent on all the facility, the licenses, the dicks you had to lick, and all the bullshit that came with it. Pay that man $500,000 a fucking year, and guess what, bro? You'll get a product that'll hit the shelf that people will buy from you, instead of you having to go out and create legislation and rewrite and create a task force to go out and lock down the black market that you feel so fucking threatened by. But the reality of the situation is, bro, you created an overhead for yourself with a shitty fucking product and expected millions of dollars in return. That's like, cool, bro. You created another Smirnoff vodka. Eat a dick. You suck. No one cares. So, like, you really want to care about that 23 million? You really want to swing your dick? You don't want to be a Chad? You want to be this big, bad fucking king of weed? Do yourself a favor, bro. Go out and find the best of the best and pay the motherfucker. Give up the $1 million. Eat a fucking dick, you greedy motherfucker.
Tony.
Give it up, and guess what? You'll crush it. You'll sell every fucking thing out the door, and you'll make more money than you ever could before. But no, that's not the way you look at it. That's not the way it's fucking approached. And so instead, we hate, we blame, and we write legislation and try to shut down home grows and small little guys that should have, like, you wake up every morning with $1 million facility
shit.
and you're like, dude, I'm worried about the guy in his basement.
Wow, you do breathe. Holy shit. I didn't think you were coming up for air on
You
that
asked
whole
me
thing.
to talk, motherfucker.
No,
You
I
want
like
me to
it.
talk? You want me to
like
say it?
No,
Okay, then.
But
Shut the fuck up
but
and
we
let me
went from
talk.
the
What the
beginning,
fuck?
And we went right to the end.
No, we didn't. There's a ton to speak
Don't
about in
worry.
between. But you want to talk about the Chad cuck fuck faces that ruin this shit and why the price is defunctioning and why there's so much
Okay.
fucking plethora of shitty fucking weed, bro.
All right, I'm gonna
like,
let you
it's
go back on
crazy
it
to me.
then.
Right? We're the
Yeah,
creators of
fucker,
our
stop
own fucking
interrupting.
demise. We create
God.
this shit and then we fucking cry about it.
Somebody pulled the code on
It's
Tony.
beyond fucking comical to me, bro. All right, go ahead. Go ahead, get in. Get a question in. What do you want to ask me?
No, it seemed like you got fucking railroaded after that fucking long-winded speech there. Little hostile there.
It didn't get hostile, bro. It's just the reality of the legal situation.
A little
passion.
intense, maybe
And
intense.
it's just like, exactly, bro. It's not even hostility. It's not anger. It's simple truth, bro. And I can just speak it. And it comes through as like I'm an angry, and I'm not angry, bro. Because if you know me, I'm the happiest, fattest, highest motherfucker in the room, bro. I just say things with a truth and a passion of speaking in a factual manner. In a manner of, it is what it is. If you don't want to deal with it, you don't have to. But stop fucking blaming the wrong people for your issues. And as person who, like okay, I have Next Level Pre-Roll. It's a legal white market company, right? We produce 20,000 a month. We sell them in the stores, you know, we're all through LA. You know, it's a beautiful thing. I have 2 legal companies where we hand out trophies for, you know, flower growing and hash making. And it's a beautiful, wonderful thing. So I walk the world, right? Like the fence where it's like, on this day I can step down here, on this day I can step down there.
You can see both sides.
And in doing so, I can empathize because I can see from each angle. And
that's what we want.
And I feel bad for the white market in its sense of being lost and not knowing how to stop the landslide. But the truth of the matter is you have people with egos who spend money and don't want to listen. And their ego makes them believe that because they made this money and got them to this point, there's nobody really out there that can teach them or show them. And so because of that, we have the situation we have where you have all of these companies in Massachusetts and throughout the United States that have these massive facilities and grows and are growing these massive amounts of fucking mids, okay? Giving it away because it's about to go out of code. Buy 1 joint, get 2 free. Buy $25 grams. Like, and then what do you find out? You find out, oh, it got investigated. This whole batch was remediated. This one had mold. This one had bugs. This one, and it's like the same shit. So it's like, God, man.
Tony, we talked about this on the last show. So to get rid of, you know, we call them the Walmart pockets, right? You got everybody with the Walmarts that came in and fucking dropped the price down, and we agree that, you know, you're going to pay for quality. Right? But do you think that by putting more regulations, getting rid of the fucking testing labs that are just fucking passing everything, right? Because you're going to start there, right? Because we talk about this every time. It's like play and repeat. You know, let those fucking companies crash out so the smaller guy can come up.
You know what? It's happening right now. You're seeing this in the transfer of licenses, people backing out, massive growth shutting down. But that's all about to get picked up and residualized and change effect. And those guys are going to be allowed to come back onto the board again, even stronger than they were. So it's almost like a little false guys going there where you think the big man's going out, but the even bigger man's coming onto the field. And so, like, what I would say to the small guy is keep doing what you do, make your product above and beyond best of what it is, and hope that these idiots can come to understanding, at least if they don't want to hire you, learn about licensing rights. And let's go out and let's find, like, Betty Sue, who makes the best chocolate over here, and let's go license Betty Sue. You know what I mean? And then we come into our legal facility and we make everything right there controlled, facilitized, and we put Betty Sue's name on the package and she gets 15%. And she gets to stay home and collect her 15% for having a really good product. And now the white market has a really good label and name that it can sell to its customers and feel good about. You know what I mean? Little things like that. But you don't even see that outreach. How about just learning how to work within your people here that propel your weed, everything about your business forward, you know, because when you think about it, like if you're selling a gelato or you're selling a cookie, or you could be like, oh, that's Sherbinsky, or oh, that's, you know, cookies, and that's Burner and they're legal companies. And that shit was never fostered or made in a legal facility ever. That shit was always made on an illegal grow in a black market lab, you know, not a lab, but grow, and was founded and brought forth from there, and all of those things and everything you chase right now, Skittles, you know, was not made in any white label company ever, you know. So what do you have? You have this conundrum of where the people want
the black
what's being made, and you want to be able to sell it in your store. So instead of fighting and trying to drown out the little guy, absorb them, bring them in.
So
Like-
it's actually like the guys from the black market dictate what's out there on the white market, but there's such a disconnect from the black market, from the white market. Like, what are they missing? Where's the transition?
Well,
Because they're making money
that's
off
where
of
all your
everything that-
legislation, right? That's where all of the everything comes in. Because what was in Massachusetts originally? Companies had to be a 70-30 of they could only trade 30% of products between one another. Everything once brought into metric had to be in there, and you couldn't bring anything outside in. And
When
was
it was
a
medical
very,
at first?
yes, and I think that's even in the rec market here as well.
Yeah.
So I think it's hard, right, for you guys to be able to introduce genetics on like a regular, to be able to just go out and collect a couple packs of seeds from Spannabis and bring them back and throw them in. I don't know exactly how that works here in
You
Mass.
got to check everything in now.
So
the big process.
It's to like, we've created all of these rules, right? That we've made it impossible to do it. So it's easier to just
And
blanket
they make
it
no
out.
sense. And I don't know shit about weed.
But there's a disconnect. It's fucking.
I don't know.
It's pretty unbelievable that like the black market drives it, but there's so much disconnect from the actual players from the black market to the white market. Unlike yourself, so you started growing in your basement, and then you won High Times. When you won High Times, was that a local High Times event from this area?
It was Amsterdam,
Or
actually.
You went to Amsterdam.
Yeah, it was Amsterdam. And then we came back and we got 2015 was the strawberry banana. I had told Don and Aaron the year before, yo, we got the one on the straw banana, and they were like, no way, because they were about to drop it. It was going to be their big, drop. And so we ended up dropping it that June. Same as them. June, it was Michigan Cup, and we ended up getting first place, and they ended up getting disqualified. And
Why
then
did they get disqualified?
there was because High Times does a thing where it's your scores by testing from the labs. So
Okay.
it's like 33% of your score. So the test came back, I don't know what for, but either way, it caused a DQ for them. But then we went on to win the next 5. So
In Amsterdam?
no, it was Jamaica, Cali, all the next 5 High Times Cups.
For
Fucking
flour?
goat.
No,
the
for
goat.
for actually Shatter.
For Shatter?
Yeah,
Okay.
for the flower, actually, our cousin Eric, Mass Genetics got he was winning in the flower. Our buddy Pete was winning in the flower and Jilly. You know what I mean?
Oh, so you
like,
had a tight crew. Did you meet them guys? You grew up with them other guys? Or?
well, Pete, Pete I've known a minute. He's like, a friend, the friend you love to, the cousin you love to hate, right?
Pistol Pete, right?
Yeah, Pistol Pete. And then, Eric's my wife's first cousin. I've known Eric since he was 15 years old. But yeah, it's just been something, those guys have been running with it and doing it. It's all of us. There's a lot of us, my buddy Omar, it's my partner in Next Level, my buddy Cody, my partner, Zen Extracts, Dab Rite, our Dab Rite Cup, my buddy, Uncle Stoner and partner, we own the USA Squash Off together, like there's
You say Dab Rite Cup too?
yeah.
Yeah,
There's literally a plethora of us and a plethora of the things with which we bring to the table for the weed community to have and enjoy and embrace.
So when you were winning them cups, were you still growing in your basement? Was it flour from your basement that you turned
Absolutely,
into Shatter?
bro.
In the tents, dude.
All
We
the
pay
best,
attention.
all the best flour came from your basement, bro.
No, but when did you?
Well, I mean,
when did you go out to
sun grown. Listen, sun grown is. There's never a time you'll ever convince me in your life that any type of resin is better than sun grown resin. You just can't. Something about growing plants outdoor, like you can
Natural
easily mediate. I know people are like, oh, bugs or this or that, like bullshit. You can make your garden foolproof on that without having to use crazy chemicals, and you know what I mean? You just plant the proper things, and legitimately, like, sun-grown resin is the best resin, and the greatest,
the terpeus, right?
the greatest myth is that people believe they buy all this Cali resin and this rosin, and they believe that it's all this beautiful indoor grows and stuff, but really it's all beautiful mountainside sun-grown resin. And yeah, you can never, there's never a time you'll be like I've done some amazing things in a room, 0 rooms. Like, you can't convince me, you know, no matter how much people want to debate this with me, I appreciate LED. I appreciate everything it does and brings to the table, the energy it saves. But it's for vegging, you know, it does a great job with flower. But it's like, oh, I grow killer flower under that. But then we wonder why there's so much midzy flower out there. You know, a double-ended HPS is the only thing I think could really ever replicate the sun. It's the only time I ever felt I got plants the same way. Other than that, you know, the sun is king, and there's nothing that could
Something
ever
with the sun and the soil and
convince
the
me
nature.
otherwise. Yep. So, and it's funny too, because I became a big RDWC guy indoor because simply a friend of mine kept saying, do it, grow with it. I'm telling you, you'll love it. It's the most set it and forget it way to grow. It really is. You know, you get a chiller, the water stays cold, those plants will fucking run off on their own and just eat and absorb and grow like motherfucking Christmas trees, you know, with no worries. So like for indoor, you know, even when I built the first facility I did up in Maine in Saco in 2017, you know, that was when we got the Wonder Hostess warehouse facility up there in Saco, and it was $3 million. We ended up putting 6 rooms in there. I had 680 RDWC buckets, current cultures running. That's probably the largest indoor one I ever did of that manner. But yeah, I mean, it's really, you know, I've had great success with soil. Most of my wins all came with soil. RDWC just became easy, I think, and clean, and I just liked it. So I've just been there ever since. You know, obviously outdoors, you know, but, you know, there's a way to do your outdoor and run your outdoor, so it can be extremely clean and effective as well.
So when was the first bigger grow when you got out of the basement after first cup, second cup, third cup? Because you got a farm out in Cali, right? When did that come before the main location or after?
I want to say probably it was before. And like the first big grow I actually did, I was 16. The Dead had come to Worcester. And those guys that were working the things for them, my cousin was working in that detail, the roadies doing all their shit and everything. They ended up using our property to park their buses and everything. And
no shit, you had the Dead staying at your house?
so like not my house, but our property, yes. So like basically what ended up
That's pretty
happening
dope.
is those guys ended up taking me up when I was 16 to their farm. They had a farm up in New Hampshire, and they were rocking out and crushing grows. And they brought me up there, you know, and I went up to become the bitch boy. And that was like my first experience with a large outdoor grow and basically how to carry a lot of fucking buckets.
From a roadie you met that was touring with the Dead?
Yep.
Because they parked their tour buses on a family property.
Yep.
Oh, that's pretty fucking dope.
Yep. That was like, and it's funny because like we just locked me in. There was something about it. You know, and I went out and got all the books, and I had my like heroes, and you know, at the time I thought were my heroes because, you know, they were old school heroes that were really the only people to put themselves out there for you to like follow or get any type of knowledge from, you know, outside of ICMAG, you know what I mean? Like out of there, it was like, you know, there weren't too many people showing you the ropes and the ways to go. So like a Jorge Cervantes, you know, while today you look back at those methods and you're like, oh my God, you think to yourself, man, that man like allowed me to see and be and brew, you know what I mean? And do a lot of things and learn a lot of things that once implemented, you realize over time you would have just learned on your own, because once you spend enough time with the plant,
He laid the framework down for you.
But yeah, like there's, you know, there were just things that they were there for you at that time that, you know, even though it was highly illegal and, you know, it wasn't cool, or you were just a dumb stoner, you know what I mean? Like there were books you could go and seek out, and Jorge was willing to give you that and show you that. And there was like Soma and Mila and Amsterdam and just things that were going on in 92. You had Aryan open the coffee shop, and, you know, Shanti Baba and your White Widow, and like so much, you know what I mean? And like that for me is like my high school years, you know, like, or actually it was when I graduated 92, because that's when I went to Amsterdam and went to my first coffee shop and everything. I spent 2 years in Germany playing hockey and fucking football.
Boston.
That's another story.
So what do you tell the family when you're 16? You got to go work on a marijuana farm.
You don't. You didn't.
What were you doing? You were doing stage work?
It was not. It was not a. You know, it was the summer of me going away. That was about it. But not. You know. Especially in the period I was growing up when weed wasn't cool, it wasn't legal, and it wasn't going to get you anything good. You know,
People were getting big.
Considered the gateway drug, and it was just bad, bro. You got to remember, for me, this is 1988, 89, 90, 91.
When did Edwin Rubis get pinched? That guy's been in 27 years, so
Yeah.
So 97
on conspiracy.
Yeah,
he didn't
he's
get
been
busted with
27
anything.
years
That's
of a
fucked.
40-year sentence.
Bro, when I got arrested in fucking 2018, man, and I had the 1,680 pounds, I was shitting a brick because, like, yeah, dude, it could go either way. It can go either.
He's in jail
there
right
can
now.
be like,
So tell us a little bit
Tony,
about you. You
Tony,
went from
conspiracy to traffic 1,500 pounds. You got a 40-year bid. He's 27 in. That's crazy. For
and
cannabis.
here's the crazy thing about this too.
Do you think that's the disconnect from the actual people who are in business
That's
now?
a major disconnect when you have a man sitting in prison right now for something that companies are getting rich on.
Rich. Giving licenses, taxing on it. If you're making money on a tax on something that's allowed, you can't have people in jail for
And
it.
then here's the thing, you know, these presidents come on and they're like, you know, or Biden or fucking whoever it is, you know, Trump.
They're all
and they
playing
come
the-
out
the
and they're
weed
like, yo,
card.
we're gonna fucking pardon all the fucking but none of these motherfuckers are let out, right? Like unless they're on some lethal condition to where they're like gonna die next fucking week. They're like, no, you can just hang out here. Like, look at the kid in Russia. They let sit there for 4 fucking years
They just
for a
don't-
fucking joint, and they just let that motherfucker. Oh, finally you come back home. We traded for Brittany Griner in like 2 seconds, and all she does is post "I hate America" bullshit.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, dude, we're a conundrum amongst ourselves, man. Like, you know, we'll celebrate a motherfucker for opening up a $30 million facility and having a legal facility to sell weed that a dude's literally lost his entire life over.
They just dangle the carrot. No matter who's in, they're like, oh, we're going to pardon them at the end. Oh, we'll do it at the end. And then they just jerk you off for 4
And that's
years.
bullshit because they come out and pardon their cousins and their sons and their sisters and their wives and their brothers and themselves. And then it's like, oh, Joe Schmo's still serving for some fucking weed.
For the
You know,
cannabis
like,
people, they just string you along. They just string you along. They all, oh, it's going to be legal for you guys this year. The only way it gets legal is so it gets taxed so hard where it's fucking generates revenue for
bro,
them.
here's the funny
And
thing.
the real people that are
Those
involved, who
motherfuckers
started the
had a
movement-
tax stamp on it in 1939. So their greedy asses could have kept that shit and just let us have our plant. But the biggest problem is you have petroleum-based medicine and petroleum-based products. And so therefore you can't really have hemp and or fucking cannabis around because you wouldn't need any of those petroleum-based products. You know what I mean? And petroleum-based medicines. So like,
conflict of interest.
really, yeah, big conflict of interest. Yeah.
But every time it opens up, the people who started the movement, who started the legwork,
Who
they
started
want-
the movement?
just the people, the real
Who?
people, trying to
Who?
get prisoners out, changing the prison reform. Everybody, it's been battled since fucking the 30s, the
It's
20s,
funny
the hemp
because
farmers, right?
I love this one because a lot of these weed dudes, you know, especially these MMA weed dudes, I'm a big badass motherfucker.
Why, you're not happy with the MMA weed guys?
No, I love them. I love them. I just, you know, it's very bravado. I'm just saying, I fucking love MMA. I'm one of those dudes. So
We're talking
fuck
about
off.
prison reform.
I
How do we
mean,
go to UFC?
I mean, you have a lot of real, you know, a lot of that bravado. But if you really, you know, who do you think for weed becoming legal in California and getting pushed forward? Who do you thank for that?
Hippie movement?
No.
Politicians?
market.
No.
Money?
See, look at this
Money?
shit. I love it. The gays, bro. The gays push that whole movement forward. So, like, all of you that want to hate on gays or have some sort of weird feeling towards gays, without them propelling weed and
Not
pushing
homophobic on this shit.
pushing it forward, bro, you wouldn't have what you have in California, and you wouldn't have what you have in the country right now. You really wouldn't. So, like, you really have to thank that movement at the time in '88 and that whole push. The anti-AIDS movement, that whole thing, you know, like
That's where it all came from,
You
Tony?
have to push that, bro. Simply, yeah. That they're the ones that legislated. They're the ones that got weed used for medicine for AIDS treatment. Like, yeah, bro, they pushed that all along. Like that was all them moving that along and pushing that and propelling that and bringing it forward and making it legal in California. Absolutely.
So wait a minute, this is the first time ever.
100 bazillion
So weed
percent.
cures AIDS?
No.
It helps you get an appetite for the
Dude,
treatment.
it helps you
Ricky.
when you're sick and you're going through your treatment, and so you can eat and ease the pain. I'm just saying, bro. Like, if you want to thank someone for your history of legal weed, bro, go back and thank the gay community in that fight.
Yeah,
and if you
absolutely.
don't know it and you can't thank them for it, well, fuck
Thank
you.
you.
Go back and do a little research and understand your fucking history. That's all I'm saying. No big deal.
So you're
but it wasn't some
entrenched.
dirty hippie motherfucker that was up here like, we need to smoke more weed. Fuck Nixon.
So, Tony,
that
I want to
was
hear.
not the basis of it.
I want to hear how Tony got to here now, right? I want to hear, because you went from prom to 4 kids.
Fuck.
You
Dude, I
missed
don't even
everything
know.
in the middle.
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
Bro,
that must have been one prom
Trying
night.
to bring it back.
That must have been one prom night.
That was a hell of a problem.
Every question you ask Tony, it leads with fucking the industry, fuck the corporations.
Let's just
fuck
get
the
on that.
government.
You know what I mean? I want to hear about this prom night.
What do we want to know? I got married to a beautiful woman. You know, I love. Thank you, Casey, for coming into my life. 27 years. I've been luckily married.
Oh, she must have the patience of
You
a
know, oh
fucking
my
angel.
God, dude, bro. God is like.
She's not deaf, is
Touched
she?
by an
Really?
angel.
She's going to heaven, bro.
Oh, without a doubt.
She has such a fucking
my-
past, bro. Like she's probably God's probably like, yo, you got like a +10.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you bring
Oh,
whoever
yeah.
you want.
Hey, he's pulling out the
Bring
red.
whoever you
Hey, he's
want.
pulling out the red carpet, dude.
I'm telling you, bro, because
He's gonna go borrow the carpet from the devil, dude,
you
and
know,
just pull
like,
out the red
that
carpet,
fucking
dude.
woman. But
You got a
know,
+10 unless you bring Tony. You
Yeah,
only
yeah.
one.
Yeah. You're going back to -2.
But yeah, I met her. We had, Ashley, our daughter, who, is in her 7th year of college, going for a master's degree right now. Kudos to you, Ashley.
Doctor?
Graduate already because I'm
Lawyer?
broke as a motherfucker. And then 4 years later came Logan, my oldest son. And so, like, just so you understand the names, I'm that guinea from that fucking family where everyone's Anthony, Nicholas, but like we all have the same
Christopher.
fucking Michael, the same names,
Vinny.
the same fucking
Vincenzo.
names. Okay,
Giuseppe.
I almost got named Valentino because I was born on Valentine's Day. Thank fucking
The
God.
3rd.
So like,
The third.
legit, like fucking bro, it's so ridiculous, Joseph. So we broke the stigma. My daughter's Ashley, Lee. My son's Logan, Anthony. My son's Alexander Joseph, which I mean, he can't get more guinea than that, really. Alexander the Great, fucking. So, and our last name is Iovieno. Iovieno, Iovieno. You can tell we were those poor Italians who couldn't afford consonants for our fucking name. It's all vowels,
That's it.
Like,
Can I buy a vowel?
Pick out of these
No.
5. You can grab one of the other ones.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So we
no,
had
that was too
Logan.
expensive.
and then we had Alexander, and then we had Hunter. So I have my daughter and my 3 boys, and just my wife. And I worked hard for A-Hole Corporation. My wife was a director of a school, Next Generations. We had our normal jobs, did our normal shit. Like
she
everyone
does have
else.
patience of an angel.
Oh, absolutely, bro.
Working in the
absolutely.
school systems
works with
nowadays?
fucking children,
No
and
way.
then works with me.
She don't
I
get a
don't know
break.
what's worse.
Like, and she always says that I'm like 2 because I have access to the bank account.
Tony's never wrong either. Guy's always right.
Bro,
speaks the
I'm
truth.
never right at home. That's why when I leave the house, I have to be right. You don't understand. You're married with kids. You're not married with kids, are you? Okay, motherfucker, let me help you understand something. There's never a day in my house where I'm right, okay? It just doesn't happen. Once you're married, you have to understand that you get this card and it comes in the mail, and this isn't bullshit. It comes, you land, and you open this up, and it's like, what the fuck is this? And it's like, acceptance of understanding that you will never be right, and to always understand how to say sorry and just know you're always wrong. And once you can commit to this, you'll have the happiest of marriages. Okay.
Oh my
And
God.
then,
I never seen that guy.
and then you
before.
have kids, all right? And the kids, like, you come to this realization that, wow, my life is no longer my own. It belongs to them now. You know what I mean? Like, and that's it. It's over. It's done. Like,
My
just-
card must be coming Pony Boy
that's-
Express.
That's it.
The thing's hung up right now. Fucking pony died. He's on the side of the road.
He got the wrong address on it.
Just be happy then.
Hey, they spelled Madero's wrong.
So that's why when I'm out here with you guys, yes,
They came through a drought.
motherfucker, I gotta be right because damn it, I gotta be right somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh
Send
my
back to
God.
sender.
You gotta let me have that one, all right? Fuck.
Pony Express.
I love the plant. I feel like there's a great amount people can learn from the plant. You know, you have an endocannabinoid system. This plant works directly within that system to keep your immune system healthy and to keep you going. You know, you may not like to smoke it, but there's some way you can utilize it and work it into your diet and make yourself a healthier person with it.
Yeah, you can come in any which way, man. Just walk right in. Y'all
So
good.
like,
So when you started doing shatter, making shatter, and when high times, is that when you stopped smoking flower?
I love good flower. I'll smoke good flower anytime, bro. You know what I mean? But there's not a lot of access of good flower. And now when you're coming to smoking, you understand your product, right? So here you go. You got this beautiful joint here that you rolled up for yourself, right? So now you've got all this extra carcinogen that's burning, giving it a harsher effect, a lesser flavor zone, right? So now I can extract the essence of that plant, that flavor and that same oil
All that grease.
that you're smoking on right now, and I can have it in its singular form, the caviar, the champagne of marijuana,
The
as
caviar.
as I like to call it, okay? I can have it in that form at its most flavorful and enjoyable without having to go through the amount of carcinogen that I have to expose myself to smoke a joint or maybe a bowl or anything of that nature. You know what I mean? So I just find that this is an easier way for consumption. And because I'm a true addict
Put it down,
and
relax. Sit on
consume
the
like
couch
a
if you
fucking
want, fuck it.
lunatic, you know, for me, consumption on a large scale is much harder in joint after joint. So
This is like the pinnacle of cannabis intake. Rosin.
this rosin is like I literally
Well, if we're
it's
trying
the
to establish
caviar.
the grades, there's no
It's
grades.
the caviar. It's
The
the
cat's ass.
it's your caviar. It really is, right? Not everyone likes it.
You're
Not
not
everyone
smoking a
eats it. It's
cat's
not
ass.
for everyone. But it's like your highest form of this product. It's your
purest.
your well, not really. I mean, a good melt, dude. Oh fuck, a good melt, man. You make yourself a nice flag. You know, dabbing a good melt is always gonna rival rosin as well. But I guess rosin in its cured form is just its easiest way to carry around without worrying about it, melting up on you and clotting and not being in its purest form.
You say melt, so right when it comes out of the wash, right, like bubble hash?
Yeah, when we air dry it and we sieve it and we just get the purest heads and it's in its 6-star form. True just melts where
That's
it's just,
where you get the best flavor?
it's like that powder, and then man, you just you take it and you put it between a parchment and you flag it up, and
What do you mean
Yes.
flag it up?
you just
I gotta get educated
you melt it
here.
out and you make it into this little like puddles, what it looks like, and then you just cut it into little strips so it looks like a flag. You know what I
Okay.
mean? And then you just go to town and dab.
And that's the best way. That's the most flavor
Melt,
you think.
the
The most
and like
flavor
I said,
that you like, that
rosin.
you enjoy.
Yes, cured rosin without a doubt. I'm not into fresh press. It's a big thing. A lot of people like it. You know what I mean? To me, not my cup of tea. So there's some fresh press that is really good because the terps come through extremely well. But for the most part, I feel like most people that like fresh press, the newer guys don't understand, and the older guys miss snap and pull, is how I would say it.
Snap and pull?
It used to be a consistency for shatter back in the day.
Okay.
Science project.
You want to go back to like 2013 when people first saw this shit? I'm about to smoke marijuana in its crack form. Give me the torch, Ricky.
You need like welding glasses with that fucking
Yeah, it does
torch.
look like you're smoking rock with this thing.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Did you just say you smoked the rock?
No, not me.
You like wrestling that much?
Oh
Jeez.
my gosh. Always with the jokes.
bro, if you can't laugh, are you really having a good time?
So you're the curator of this Dab Rite Cup, right? That's what you do now.
Me and my partner Cody, we you know what? It's funny. We went to an event in New York, and we both had put some money into the event. And like we had originally come together in 2018, and we're gonna start the Glass Carnival, and we were gonna start this, you know, this whole event and this thing. Back then, we were gonna start doing this, and look, I got hemmed up and caught up, and so it just didn't end up manifesting until, you know,
How long?
So we were gonna do it in 2018. I got caught at the end of 2018. I spent that year fighting it. Went to jail for fucking my 30 days, you know, then got out, 3 years probation. So we were in New York in April of 2022. And we were at the Best of New York show. And, you know, him and I had, you know, we're doing that show together, and we bumped into each other. And we were like, oh shit, what's up, bro? You know, because we hadn't talked or spoken in a minute. And so, like, we're like, what the fuck? What are you doing? What are you doing? And then we both looked at each other, and we were like, the show we were going to do. And he's like, bro, let's just fucking do it. And I'm like, let's do it. And so it started with the Dab Rite Cup, you know, and that was basically, we had the gallery in LA, you know, Cody and his partner owned the gallery in LA. And so we had that gallery to utilize as like a home base, and it allowed us to do the first 10. So we did the first 10 there. We were the first ever 10-month competition, 10 months in a row. 10 competitors each month, 100 competitors overall over 10 months, one winner each month. And then at the end of the 10 months, the 10 winners would face off in a, you know, winner take all. And we did that in that tower in LA where they did, you know, Tyson and Jake Paul and all that bullshit. So we used that tower. We threw a crazy 500-person event. You know, we had the 10 winners that showed up and competed, and it was a great one.
So
and then
2018, you decided to throw the first
2018,
cup.
we were going to do it. I got arrested in 2000. That hemmed me up till 2022. In 2022, we got back together. We were like, let's do it. 2023, we banged it out. And then 2024, it was the regionals, where we've gone on the road. We went and did Denver. We went and did Missouri. We went and did Michigan. We went and did Hawaii. We went and did Alaska. We did Northern California, Southern California, Oregon, New England.
Some fucking air miles.
And now we're about to do Miami on April 5th. We do Miami, the Miami Cup at Casa de Cristal. It's going to be a good one. 10 vendors, 75 VIP. GA is $10, a couple thousand people. Should be a really good time. Then we've got the New York one, June 7th. That'll be the New York, Philly, Jersey one, where those three regions get to enter their hash makers. We got a 4-story building there. We're going to have live artists painting the building as the thing's going on. We're going to have 10 vendors each floor, glass blowing, you know, food like we always do, same thing. The VIPs get to judge the hash, all the entries to pick people's choice.
In 2018, as opposed to starting in 2022, 2023, was there more demand like rosin spreading? Because everything usually happens out west first, right?
Take it easy, brother.
And then starts making its way.
Rosin wasn't the demand then as it is. Back then when we had started, we were originally doing a glass show that we were going to encompass all categories, like flower, pre-rolls, edibles.
Yeah.
So in now, 2022, when we started, rosin was the foremost area, the highest area you could be in for the production of the plant at the time. So that's why the
in
rosin,
California or nationally?
in the world.
Okay.
So like basically, because it had already taken over at that point, the East Coast, West Coast, you know, Maine, like anywhere, Spain. So like
Helios,
basically,
they're big people out of Maine. They've been open like 5 years. That's when I first heard of like rosin.
Yeah. So basically now at that point, doing a rosin competition was more beneficial because Bobby and I were already doing the flower competition. We have the USA Squash Off, and the Squash Off goes around and you enter with your flower. We look at your flower under the scope, you know, as is. Then we take it, we pack it, we press it. We take the press from the flower. We look at that. That's judged, and then the overall scoring.
Bobby is not Bobby
Uncle
Nuggs?
Stoner. No.
Oh,
No.
okay. Bobby Uncle Stoner.
Bobby Uncle Stoner, yes.
Okay. Some guy that you've known.
Yes. Some guy that a lot of people know in the cannabis industry.
Yeah. Was he out of Mass or
No. Bobby's out of Illinois.
Illinois?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You got your fingers in everything. It seems like.
Dude, there's a lot of pies out there, man. I'm a fat guy. I want to eat them all. All right. This is the greatest compliment I can give myself because this is truly legendary. But really,
Need a little music with that?
If you know,
Can
well,
we get
okay,
a
if
little
you want
music on
to,
this one?
here it is. Here's the truth. Okay, real simple. You don't gotta hate me. You just need to understand it. I'm fucking Thornton Mellon from Caddyshack. Right? I'm the loud asshole that you don't want at your country club. It's that simple because, like, I've got the money to be there with you and I can play golf with you and I can hang out with you, but I'm not going to reside to the same rules as you because I'm there to enjoy myself, so I'm going to enjoy myself. So, yes, I'm a little brash. I'm a little loud. I'm a little out there. But really, bro, I've got the biggest heart on the planet. I'm the most loyal motherfucker on the planet. So it's like I don't mind portraying the role of the asshole because it's just me just being me. And if anybody that knows me, bro, they fucking love me. And if you don't know me, or you just go by the stories or look at, then you know what? It's easy to hate. And I'm okay with that because I don't need that many friends.
Fuck. Tony, we golfing together.
He would bring
you coming over to the country club.
Come on, bro.
Tony, you can come over to the country. We're going to embrace you over there.
I'm old, G. What the fuck would you want me to reference?
No, not that old. Not that old.
You want me to reference? Okay, here's a good
I'm one click away from 50.
I
You're
love
not that old.
Caddyshack. Bill Murray.
Let me explain something to you. I'm 51 years old, bro, and I will go as hard as any fucking 20-year-old out there. I don't give a fuck, bro. If we're hitting the orgy, we're hitting the bar, we're fucking doing dabs. I don't care, bro. Let's run it up. I literally don't give a fuck,
yeah,
bro.
but 20-year-olds aren't built like us anymore. They're not built like that.
I'm gonna be honest with you. You're
they're gonna be wiping their ass fucking an hour and a half in.
Yeah, look at all my boys are in their 20s, and I love my boys because they're good fucking kids. But bro, their friends come over, and the way these kids are, like, okay, when I had my daughter, right, all I could think about was me and my era. Spring break, hard bodies, like sex, like big hair, big tits, right? Like that's it. So I have my daughter and I'm like, oh my God, bro. Like this is it. I gotta hide this one. I can't let any guys near her. And then as time has grown and come on, bro, I don't worry about my daughter in today's society because the women are running it. They're driving the car. Right. The dude's in the passenger seat. He's okay with fucking being in the passenger seat. It's the craziest shit to me. It's the craziest thing I see. And I worry more about my boys because the girls today, bro, they're like on another level. They will trap a motherfucker, get pregnant, lock you in, and you're like, bro, and they don't give a shit because if it's their plan and they want to do it, they're fucking doing it. So I worry more about my 20-year-old boys than I do my 26-year-old daughter out there in the dating scene. I worry more about my boys today than I do, like, it's crazy to me.
I'm going to tell you right now.
Oh my God.
All the kids growing up now are indoor fucking cats.
Bro.
And we were fucking outdoor cats.
Like,
we only came in to fucking eat to go back outside.
Bro, Thursday night came and you got like 18 plus. Thursday night was great because it was 18 plus at the bar. You get out there and score some ass, bro, right? Then Friday night was keg party, bro. Saturday night was some crazy house party. Right. Sunday was like, yo, we're getting fucked up. We don't give a shit. Monday was stumbling into school like, bro, the fucking weekend was
Sunday.
fun.
Hey, Sunday's like, we're going to relax, but we're still getting fucked up.
No, that's not as fucked up. That's what I said. But, you know,
Thursday
like, we legit, like, our weekends were fucked. Bro, right?
Yeah,
and today,
kids, they have,
bro,
they're worshiping fucking other people on fucking line.
The
you
ground
know what I mean?
round.
Oh
my God.
The ground round's back, bro.
No, I was
drinking. Back.
No,
they just brought it. Yes, they just brought the ground round back. I'm not fucking lying. In fucking motherfucking Westboro, bro. They just brought it back. It's back. Wow. The ground round is back. I'm not single anymore, but I'm gonna go just to fuck with it. Be like, I want some nostalgia. But the bitch is back. All I want is Twin Lobster again, baby. Bring it back.
Let's
roll it the fuck back.
There's definitely underage drinking going on.
No, I don't know if you get away with that shit today, bro. It's not like our day where you had that one Korean place, that one Chinese place you could all go to an underage drink in the town and get away with it. Like, I just don't think that shit exists today, bro, because it's not.
So with that being said,
40s. These kids don't know what a fucking 40 was or a Mickey.
well, this is what I'm gonna ask. So like back in our day, you used to
What do you
find
mean? I
like
just slipped someone a Mickey last. Oh, sorry.
no, but like back in our day, you used to find the local drunk. He'd meet you and buy you a 30 rack.
Oh, it
if
was
you
always the
wanted to
bum sitting outside the yard.
Right.
Here's my
Right,
20.
You could get a 30 pack. Listen though. So like, has that translated into the weed market right now? Are young kids finding older dudes to buying product at the
No, they don't even
in the
have
rack?
to. These
Or
kids
no?
got better. You want to hear the funniest thing? I can't even do this dab right now because this story's great. Motherfucking
I mean, it's
COVID comes in, okay? And you remember, all non-essential business gone. Boom, shut down, okay? You weren't essential. So the weed shops got shut the fuck down. You remember? It was like 6 months. They were all closed. Okay.
But then they
So
became
no,
essential,
so-
right?
So here's the best part. The best part was
Tax
you
revenue.
got all these fucking dipshits addicted to their weed, able to get their weed. All these moms and dads, "Oh, I got my weed. Meanwhile, Billy's always had his fucking weed. Never fucking worried about it because every 15-year-old you know has a bag of fucking weed. Always has, always fucking will, right? What happened during COVID? Shit got shut down. It was non-essential. And now Karen and Chad were like, what the fuck am I going to do without my weed? And they looked down at little Billy, and Billy was like, I got you, Mom. And Karen and Chad have never returned to the dispensary since.
Probably not.
Okay? Like, that's that. So, like, you know.
I know. I thought Mass was coming out swinging, and then it's still rising, but not at the rate.
Well, they
it was.
did. They talked a massive game, and they were like, we're going to be the best at it, and we're not going to make the mistakes of Colorado, and we're going to crush it, and everybody's going to crush it, and you're going to get 12 plants in the fucking. And then what happened, bro? What happened?
Not as
it was
planned.
all done out of let's go in and let's deregulate, and then let's bring in medical, and then we decriminalize in 08, medical in 12, rec in 2016. Every 4 years, same fucking state, same progress, same bullshit, same fucking plan written for everywhere. The tax money isn't there in the beginning, it isn't there in the end. So then you just get pissed off, and it's all legislation and bullshit and posturing and shutting down home grows. But in the beginning, it's always like, you know, let the little guy grow, let the home grow, get them all going,
Yeah, they
get them all
ride him.
addicted to it. And then you open up all these dispensaries, and nobody's coming to the dispensary because they don't need to go to a dispensary because they got 12 plants in their fucking backyard. You know, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden, the dispensary's like, well, I just paid $27 million. I got to have my money. Like, let's shut down that home grow because that's fucking me up. Like,
Are they going after the home grows in Mass right now?
no. I don't believe so. I think Mass is one of those good states where you'll be able to, but in a lot of states, like Michigan, they're trying to go after it right now. In a lot of states, they do. They play the card. They chase you down and they try to cut and limit what you can do. And you know what I mean? Like, because I'll be honest with you, like anybody who's looking to be licensed, don't even look at Massachusetts, bro. Go to fucking Maine. Maine's
But
like
I heard they're
the
starting to mess
Mecca.
with them up there.
No, dude, they mess with everyone everywhere because it's always going to be that way. But Maine's still the fucking Mecca, bro. You go in there, you can license up, and you can kit out a facility and not have the millions of dollars of overhead that Massachusetts brings. There, you can fucking sell to your patients. You can sell to your patients' patients. You can sell to out-of-staters. You can sell through the storefront. Like,
How much
Maine-
can you sell to an out of state legally
Maine
through a
is
shop?
like, I believe it's an ounce, but I mean, Maine
Yeah.
is like, well, fuck, dude.
Yeah,
Maine's
you
the
can get a
fucking
half
vacation
PEP.
state. They get the entire state of California. 36 million people visits them every year. It's known as the vacation state. Give me a fucking store on the side of the road in Maine, bro. Let me sell 36 million ounces.
Hey, open up a store
Fucking-
right on the line so they buy an ounce, leave, come back.
Bro, if I sold 36 million fucking ounces and made $10 on every ounce,
You're
I'm
doing pretty good.
fucking all right.
You're doing all right. You should have. You
Like-
should be.
Like, you should. You're right. I mean, fuck. Then you'd be able to throw competitions and not have to worry about losing money on throwing competitions that you don't make money on. You could travel the world, buy nice glass, and eat a lot of good fucking food.
So what about California though? So you're set up in California. You like the legal market in California as opposed to Massachusetts? That's
No,
why you're not set up
California is a
here?
disaster right now. California is the area where you can have a plethora of land and ability to do what you want. You don't have that here.
But they tax the shit out of you or something, or
Everything. Like, it's no easier anywhere you are. It's just where you're able to go when you're able to go. I have a buddy, he has a massive farm in California. He says, yo, bro, come out here and bring out your genetics. Let's run it up. So what are you going to do? You're going to go out there, you're going to bring your genetics out there, and you're going to run it up. And then guess what, dude? You grow some banging ass shit. And all of a sudden, they're like, damn, bro, this stuff's pretty good. Let's get it. And then this farm wants to get some. And then this guy who's growing wants to get it on his farm because, you know what? It's a fucking banger, and it gives back a good return. And, hey, now, next thing you know, everybody's looking to buy that cut. And now you're just selling out cuts to everyone, and they're blowing it up on their farm. And you know what? You're known for a flavor, and you get to just crush it on residual. Like...
So that's it. That's the cut
every
game.
place.
Not
That's
not
every
actually
state.
growing it, not selling it. It's actual like the ancillary shit,
Dude,
not directly selling
finding
to the consumer.
the special
bud.
stuff right now is like the only thing. Being able to grow a plant, wash a plant, sell a plant, bro. It's like breathing. It's not that hard. You can do it. You know what I mean? If you're good at it or you're bad at it,
But I don't think
you can
that
still do it.
You don't get the value out of it because most of the consumer, 99% of them, really don't understand the different values.
Because it goes back
They're
to
getting tricked. They
what
can't see the
Tony
product
said
at the
before.
sale.
There's a lack of education right now, but see, this will develop and
Exactly.
grow. And as the education develops and grow, people will realize, oh, I've been buying Toyotas the whole time. I'm going to start buying fucking, you know what I mean, a Kia or whatever the heck is your Honda, whatever it is. You know what I mean?
A
You
BMW.
feel,
Well, it's kind of like
They're
when
going up.
liquor first started. Liquor was liquor.
that's what I was saying
Well,
to
that's
him
been
earlier.
established.
I was
for
saying that to him
hundreds of
earlier when you
years.
think about the fucking back in my day, and it was like, oh, okay, Coors, Bud, you know, those guys, and then you had like the Zimas and the little guys in the one door. You know,
fucking
now
Zima.
it's like all slushy beers.
In one cooler, it flipped.
And in one door, it's literally all the big companies. You know what I mean? You got Coors, Bud, Miller, they're all in one door.
Tony, give him the dragon. Give him the dragon.
Just let the guy enjoy
gonna
his
have to
dab
do
in
another
peace.
But like, I really believe that right now, 100% in this market and where it's going, the way it's being dictated, I would say to you, go out, develop your brand, develop your product, and make it the best that it is. I don't give a shit if there's a million guys out there making gummies. Make your gummy the best gummy. I don't care if there's a million guys growing, and make your grow the best grow. I don't care if there's a million guys making rosin. Make your rosin the best rosin. Do everything you can to make it stand out. Do everything you can to make it better. Jesus, you just killed me.
And you got to hit
The right
street.
way. Quality.
Like cigarette, just like I just got a big whiff.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I almost choked. I don't even choke from weed, but that shit just almost put me down.
Whatever, Tony.
Yeah. Well, as soon as I inhaled that, like it choked me right up. I was
Oh
like,
my
damn.
God. Yeah,
that
the dab didn't do anything.
No,
It
the
was a little
dab, bro. I'll
secondhand
take
cig
another
smoke.
dab right now. But that shit crawled right up my nose, and bro, I choked up.
What do you do? Hit a cigarette?
Yeah,
Yeah, you got poor ventilation. This guy's keeping a cigar next to him. That's no okay.
yeah. Cigars are good. I can smoke those all day long, bro. That's a different type of tobacco.
Right.
It really is.
This is smooth.
Plus,
not
you got to remember,
remediated
dude.
over here.
I spent those times chilling and sipping
We
those
don't
scotches and
remediate
having a cigar
cigars, though.
with
We
the country
fucking
club.
roll 'em,
So
we smoke 'em,
can't
yeah.
hate on that.
You roll
But
with both sides of 'em.
That lowly tobacco shit, get it the fuck out of here.
Yeah, right.
Tony doesn't like this thing.
You're the oxymoron, right? Because you're promoting cancer in your body while fighting it at the same time.
Just living life, Tony, just like you every
That's
day.
it.
It's
Okay,
fucking-
Just
all
do
right.
whatever the fuck you want to do.
That's
right?
it, dude.
Yeah.
That's it. Like Woody Harrelson in the end
I
of
love Trevor.
Zombieland.
I love
Where's
Trevor
my
to death. That
fucking
motherfucker's a
Twinkie?
How the fuck
degenerate.
you gonna hate on your own motto?
I'm so glad we're right there on that, dude. Right? Motherfuckers, see, fat guys be thinking alike, bro. We got that. We got the link,
Whatever.
bitches. Yeah, see, you
What
didn't
do
know.
you wanna do?
You're over there being skinny and pretty. You didn't know. You didn't have a fucking clue.
Give me fucking 230 right now. I could afford to lose like 30
230. I'm
pounds.
trying to get down there.
Say 230. Jesus, I ain't seen that since I.
Look, me
I'm only
anorexic.
243 actually. I'm obese though. It doesn't matter. My doctor's like, you're fucking obese.
Yeah, but those
I'm
fucking
like,
shots
bro,
are all fucked
like,
up.
what
Those
the fuck?
shots are old.
I'm supposed to be 146 pounds Could you fucking picture me at 146 pounds?
Hey.
I'd look right. What the fuck?
Hey, you're almost there. Just keep fucking smoking.
Yeah. You're halfway there.
I'm almost there. I'm almost there. Just drop 100 pounds.
Hey, just move the decimal point over 2 spots. You'll be fine.
Yes, I've been saying it for years. You know, it's not my fault. You know, it's the fucking damn pastry. Stop making that shit.
Oh, fucking A.
Well, you must
It's where
be
we
good on
live.
the road.
Hey, it's where we live.
Or do we
You
take that
fucking
part
can't
out?
go anywhere
Can I
else.
tell
get
you,
a
no,
fucking
dude,
good meal.
I food is it for me. So I'm gonna be honest with
I
you
love
right
food.
now. That's where I don't give a fuck, bro. Like, do not cut corners, do not skimp. Let's go get a fire fucking meal. I don't give a shit what it costs. Like, but I'm not that snob. Like, I can go sit at Matsuhisa, I can go sit at Nobu, I can go sit at a high-end meal and like stuff my face and eat $25 a fucking bite items and not blink an eye, but I could go to a fire fucking food truck too. You know what I mean, bro? Like, there's some food trucks.
roll
that
any-
so it's
any
like for me,
area.
it's not so much that I need it to be, you know, bougie, but motherfucker, bro, take me to where the good food is.
Yeah, but
I
you
don't
know,
give a
it's
fuck
just like
what
this
I gotta
industry, though.
pay. Just bring me to the good fucking
But
food.
This industry, but you just bring up a good analogy. This industry is just like, you know, everybody that's smoking, right? They're just eating to eat, right? They've never tasted that fucking steak. They've never fucking tasted a good meal because they're just hungry.
Nice
They're just
Wagyu.
hungry to get fucking high, right? So they just want to
Lobster
fucking
tails.
they just
King
want to
crab
fucking
leg.
take care of that appetite. But once you fucking smoke something good, right? Or you have that meal, right? You're gonna fucking pay what it takes to fucking
So how do you lay that groundwork to the legal cannabis market?
you
Is
fucking
it
give them
doable,
something
Tony?
good.
It is hire the, bro. It's very simple. Pay the fucking money and hire the right people, bro. Stop, yo.
This
I
industry
don't
is
get
almost
it.
like the
It kills
XFL.
me. Like, let's think about this.
How about
These dudes will go out and build a company, and they'll manufacture something and make something, so that they can create income for themselves to have a big, beautiful home, a boat, you know what I mean? Maybe a private plane, right? These things that, like, in your life give you this status, a nice Rolex, you know, or whatever it may be for you, you know, whatever watch
a nice
you may
bong?
like. But, like, you know, some type of, but yet inside their business, right? The practice for that is strip mine the interior so that it's a shell, so that I can maintain the same amount of profit and or more, so that I can have high-end things in my life outside of my business, but leave my business in a way that if a serious wave ever came along and rocked it, it's really gonna fucking fall apart so easily because I've never given a fuck about structuring it to the point where it's as good as the shit that I have outside my life. It's crazy to me. Like, I don't understand it. Like, I would love to have a $30 million facility and a kid that I was paying $2 million a year to make it $70 million in return. Rather than just have a $20 million facility that meets the standard, is the standard, but runs a standard that's below subpar, pays a guy that puts him in a stress level of he's replaceable every 2 to 3 years, okay, for $80,000 to $120,000, maybe $150,000 if he's fucking lucky. You know what I mean? And subsidize the fuck out of the interior of my building and my people to get a subpar product to be happy that I purchased a $30 million toy. Like, it just makes no fucking. It's like, man,
But
I
you,
went
but
out.
you bring up a good point. What about listen, NFL owners? How fucking good did they do during the fucking strike?
Right.
Because the fucking players were quality, right? You brought in fuck it, we'll bring in the scabs.
XFL?
Think about it though. Think about it. They had the fucking structure. They had fucking everything else, right? They had the fucking beer vendors. They had everything else. Nobody was fucking buying it. Why? Because it was fucking trash product.
Bro, it comes down to in your life, really truthfully, you just said the motto right there. Like, everyone can have the recipe, but can they bake it like you?
I fucking said that before. I fucking said that.
Shut the fuck up. You never said that in your
Tony,
life.
Yes,
you
I
watched that
fucking
show
did.
already?
Oh, yeah.
Tony's plagiarizing?
Yeah, Tony's fucking plagiarizing, dude.
Doesn't seem like a guy who needs to plagiarize anything.
I might have. You might have.
No.
Hey,
So,
you're gonna add Rick Medeiros to that.
oh yeah, okay. You know what?
Yeah.
I watched the episode. Yeah, I robbed you, bro.
Yeah.
Dude,
But hey,
I've always been a secret fan. It's the
Tony,
best.
Tony, 1,000 fucking %.
Let me
That's
ask
what
you
they had in the
something. Let me
budget.
ask you something.
In 2024.
If the customer was taught that 17% THC on an activated joint is all you really need to be high and happy, and that was true medicine, do you think the labs would be afraid to release, average results? Or do you think that they'd still be the way that they need to be right now, where it's got to be 27 to 32?
to get the work coming in.
Okay. So, really, so now, again,
Create its own animal.
Again, what I'm saying is we created this standard, and now we've put the compliant pieces within the standard under the pressure to adhere to the standard. So the problem, obviously, is the governing standard.
And then
So he who created the governing standard should be lynched and pulled the fuck out. And then once that's addressed, you can address the other issues in the room.
because they're not even following the regs. They're not even enforcing them. Like, why
To be
write
honest
'em?
with you, Massachusetts is a state, and I'm gonna, I'm gonna. This is a foot in the mouth thing because I shouldn't say it, but I'm gonna say it because I don't give a fuck. It's a state where, if you're a friend, you're a friend, and if you're not, you're a foe. It's that simple. We all know that. Like, I say this all the time. Massachusetts, New England, it's a different breed up here, bro.
Tough crowd to break.
We're still in the 1940s. Noir. Gangster, two sides of town, we're going to run shit as tight as we do, but you turn a blind eye to our brother, but not you. It's always going to be that way here. It's just never,
And each town has its own crew.
whether
It's at the local licensing department or whatever. It doesn't matter.
It is what it is, and of course,
That's
But it's still not right
Massachusetts.
though. As far as forget the levels, right?
listen,
Forget
none of it's
forget
right.
the levels.
None of it's right.
What about just the clean shit though?
Okay, so again, let's go to this. Let's
Yeah.
just.
So how do you
I don't
feel?
blame
Wipe
them.
the
Listen,
testing out,
I
Tony?
don't blame the facility. Like,
Should they take
it's
the
not
testing?
right.
I
I don't
enforce
agree
it?
with it.
I don't think that the testing should be taken away. What I think is it should be standardized. And so, people are going to hate me for this, but everyone should have one machine and one standard with which they're working with. It shouldn't be a fucking, I can make my own lab and I can buy this equipment and I have an up and running lab. It's just, there needs to be a fucking standard. And if you have a standard, you have less of this mistakes or however you want to categorize this and whatever way you want to say whatever it is, because nobody's ever going to admit to
So
being
like nobody
wrong.
that
Yeah,
with
but
the
who
weights and
sets the
measures-
standard?
Usually,
That's-
the government, don't they have one of them agencies, the weights and measures department or
Yes,
something like that?
they do for all of your gas, but where's that? Do you have that for marijuana? Do you have that for legal? Do you have that? I know in Maine, you have to have a scale registered by the state for you to sell your marijuana to your patients, and they come in and calibrate that motherfucker to make sure it's on so that you're not
to
jipping
do with
anybody
the
by a
tax
gram,
stamp.
right? So
Right.
Is
They want to know what they gotta charge.
is that a
we
thing
ain't
here?
losing any
Is that a
pennies.
thing here in Massachusetts? Is everyone adhered to that standard? You know what I mean? Do they have a weights and measures for marijuana in Massachusetts? I don't know. But either way, my belief is until every lab is on the same page, working on the same equipment and everything's calibrated the same so that there can be no differentiated results, you're going to have what we have, bro. And it's like this. I've said this a million times. I've been saying this since the beginning of this, pseudo facto fucking legalization. All right.
Right.
Here's the simple thing. Yo, I'm a lawyer. I went to Harvard. I went to Yale. I went to MIT. I went to fucking Penn State. I went to SoCal. I went to, BC,
UMass
BU.
Dartmouth.
I'm a doctor. I went to, right. But in marijuana, there's nothing. There's no, and we're trying to push it over to this, where we can put it into colleges and courses and kids being bred on this so they can come into the industry and make it more scientific and pharmaceutical. But is that really the right way? Are they being taught properly? Because you have a bunch of nerds that don't even know about the essence of the plant, just taking it down to a scientific level. So
It's like what you said the other day. It's the most broad it's been, but it's like the least culture.
There's no way.
It has.
There's no way to say, you know, like he said to me, you know, Tony's a legend. Fucking dude, I could be as full of shit as the next fucking guy. You know, there's no way to bet. You know, the only thing that makes me not full of shit is you can type my name into Google and it's like dumb motherfucker that got arrested with 1,680 pounds. You know, boom, fucking right there. You can't hide it. So like, other than that, like, you know, we all like to say, oh, we're Yo, I'm 51, bro. I still learn shit about growing and extracting and working with things and soaking my bags and looking for, you know, particularly in all these fucking things that just come up as all these new things are introduced into the playing field as marijuana becomes more industrialized and everything.
So with testing, how they've incorporated, that's one of the differences between buying weed back in the day to now. That's one of the differences. People are asking, so like a lot of these dispensary owners I talk to, they're saying like 70% of the customers coming in, I want the highest THC for the shortest amount of money.
Yep.
So is testing, should they do away with it? Is it hurting or helping the conversion from the
because
from
you
how
know
it used to be to how it is?
Bro, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I have this debate about competitions all the time, you know, and everybody's like, well, you just won't like them because you run them, and it's like, nah, fuck you, bro. I believe that there's a standard for everything, and everything should have a standard of excellence. You know, you have an auto
100%.
show that shows off the cars. You have the baseball World Series. You have the NBA. You have tennis. You have whatever it may be, bro. There is something to standardize and say, you know, if you own a comic book, bro, then you go and get it graded.
Yes,
like
from a certain
I mean,
agency.
there's everything, right? So no, do I believe testing should be taken away? No, I believe it should be fucking standardized, and I believe if it's standardized, then you know what? Across the board, it can't be blamed. You know what I mean? Because as a standardized unit, if everyone's running the same machines, doing the same exact things, the same exact quality, and things are coming out defunct, then obviously it teaches you something, and there's other things for us to learn and understand why that chemistry works that way. But as of right now, I can't blame testing because nobody's got the same standard. And I'm never going to say to somebody, you're a fucking failure if there's no standard for that person to adhere to. I could never walk into a room and be like, oh man, all of you suck at what the fuck you're doing, and have everybody look at me and go, oh, I'm sorry. Well, what is the standard? We've never been taught or told. Well, then fuck. How can you suck if you don't know the standard? How can you be so like Muhammad Ali in boxing, right? Was the standard, right? Right. Bruce Lee, martial arts was
Rocky
the fucking
Marciano,
the fucking standard.
Bruce Lee.
Okay, like you'd be the one guy to go to Rocky Marciano, but like.
He's
like,
from the area.
I get it. You're right. The only undefeated white guy ever. Good. I love you too.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is like.
We had Hagler too.
We did, dude. Come on, those were some great fucking fights.
What the fuck?
But at the end of the day, like there should be a standard, right? And if you don't have
that guy, Tony?
It's just a joke. It was a joke. Relax.
Yeah.
It's so personal with this one. Right? He loves these kicks. He kick your beach ball all day. But the minute you slap his, holy shit. So like, I just can't say no. I believe testing is a great fucking thing. Just bring a standard on board so that we can all have a standard to adhere to and be like, oh fuck, we know the gold standard, we know the negative standard. We know the company that sucks and doesn't give good results and the company that does. Let there be a standard adhered to, and then bam, we can then demonize or gratify it. You know what I mean?
So should you be able to sell any product as long as you have accurate testing for it? If the customer wants to smoke it with 400,000
Bro,
CFUs?
again, that's the conundrum that you've created. And guess what? These white market things are going to create the same fucking problems for themselves. And they're going to dunk their butt and dip their butt and hide their bullshit and put it out there. And they're hiding it from the testing as well, bro. So it's like now you got to go back to that guy and be like, bro, why are you sucking in your grow room that you have to lie to the fucking testing unit, and then the testing unit's putting out fucked up results, not realizing they're putting out fucked up results because you're giving them a fucking Bro,
so
again,
a lot
bring
of things
the
need a
standard
fix.
Too, and if the motherfucking at the beginning of the train is kicking the fucking tires the wrong way, replace his ass.
The industry, the white market, as you say, like lost its luster.
It's not even that it's lost its luster, bro. It's
never
just that
had a luster.
It's just that it's a real business, bro. It's not that it's lost luster. It's just you need to understand business, bro.
I do understand business, but it's not
you.
like...
I don't mean you personally. I mean you need to understand business in a sense where this isn't about just growing some weed and like it's a business now. It's legitimate business now. And so like anything with legitimate business, you know, it's not a point of, oh, let me just go get a license and get a grow and I could grow out 1 million plants. And like, no, dude, there's a million things to it. Listen, I own 6 seats in Gillette Stadium. Okay? I own them. I've had them over 30 fucking years. All right? My father had them before me. We've had them in the family fucking forever. All right? You would think, damn, bro, you got 6 seats. You be going tailgate and you're having a good time. I don't go to games, bro.
Yeah, I don't like
I don't
it.
go
It's
to
too
games
corporate.
anymore. No, shut the fuck up.
No, it's too corporate.
I don't
You
go
can't
anymore
swear in there.
because
I've been thrown out of the last 2 games I went to.
Where?
I
you
almost
got to be
lost
up
my
at 8 in the
uncle's-
morning. You
I
got to
almost
be up
lost
at
my
8 in the
uncle's
morning.
season tickets.
You got to fucking
what?
pull
What
in
game?
there. It's going to be a $500 a day. It's going to be the tailgating, all the work that goes with setting the tailgate up, cooking and
Yes,
barbecuing,
shit.
then going in, then coming out, breaking it all down, getting in the fucking car. It's a full day. And as a person who understands that work and what it takes, I don't go to the games
Yeah,
anymore.
it's too much work.
My kids go to the games.
It's too
you know what I mean?
corporate.
They enjoy those games.
Can't swear.
So again, understanding what it takes to be a leveraged business in the white market, you know what I mean? It's not that I would say to anybody, hey, you know, don't go do it, don't go try it. Fuck that. If you have a business you want to try it, go try it. It's just that it's like any business at this point. You know what I mean? You're just another fucking McDonald's.
Just
You're not. It's not.
And everybody's looking for the fucking hole in the wall spot that's gonna get the fucking good meal from.
Like, you know, hash is going through this right now where hash was $200 a gram a year and a half, 2 years ago. You know what I mean? You could get fucking
West Coast,
$200
East
for a
Coast.
jar of fire all day long. Wasn't even a fucking problem. Now, if you get 80 to 100 for that same $200 jar, bro, you had a good fucking day. So like, you know, everything sees its golden era where it's at its highest peak and then it just bottoms out. And then what happens is there's brands that stay, you know what I mean? And they last and they have a really good name for themselves. So people will pay to get that brand. And then there's everything else that people just assimilate as the same.
It's like the .com boom. It came out, the internet, a bunch of people made money, then it fell on its face. You know, and then like the big players were gone, they got gobbled up, and then new players emerged.
Dude,
and
CMGI Field. Look at it. Take it into effect, right? The Patriots just built a brand new stadium. .com boom takes off. CMGI, this big .com boom company,
Big swinging
they
dick.
come, they buy the fucking $67 billion contract to put their name on Gillette Stadium. So it's CMGI Field. I still have that ticket book. You know, that was the year we won the bowl. It's the funniest thing. It's literally the year we won the bowl. They have it. .com boom, fucking boom, literally
Shut down.
booms out.
How long did that
fucking
last?
it bottoms right the fuck out, and those dudes had to sell out, and Gillette bought the licensing rights, and it's been the Razor Gillette Stadium ever since.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, dude, like,
But now the internet's live and kicking and fucking hanging and banging. It's the growing years. It's still fucking new, like legally. I don't know if the criminal aspect of it lost its luster, but I appreciate you coming on, Tony.
what do you mean, dude? Dark web's great. I fucking live on that bitch. You don't know how. Oh, sorry, my bad. Whoops, we're not.
No, I appreciate you taking the time. I think the fucking battery's gonna run out on the camera.
Dude, you know what? We've been here for like 19 hours talking, so
Yeah.
Right.
I told you, bro. I can like, talk
304.
forever.
You don't give a fuck. He just talks. It was
And
a
the
great
best part is we
conversation.
literally did not speak anything viable.
No, it was all good. It's all above board. All above board. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, bro. Thank you for having me on, guys. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Honestly, great show, great format. You know what I mean? I love everyone here except for this fucking guy. This guy's a fucking
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, bro,
cocksucker.
like,
You're a little slow.
you know what I mean? So the best part about all of this in this interview, and I will leave everybody with this, I fucking made up everything, and I don't know shit. I literally found all this stuff on the driveway outside before I came in.
Hey,
Yeah, we grabbed this guy, seen him at an event. He had
And
a
for the
sign,
record-
we'll work for food.
and for the fact, Tony doesn't even fucking smoke weed.
No, just like
The
you.
fucking dragon is here.
Yeah.
The fucking legend. I know you don't want to be fucking called a legend, but your
You know
ass is
what?
the
Oh my
fucking
god,
legend.
the legend, the dragon, bro. I'm gonna go home and play with my Bruce Lee poster.
Oh my god. You gotta be jump rope
Hey,
until 2 a.m.
You can't hold that fucking torch without fucking proper eye fucking goggles.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, it's like fucking craziness.
I'll take one more of them dabs.
Let's fucking go.
Let's go, bro. Let's get high time. Are we over? We're done? We called it, right?
Wake Wake up in the morning, got a bag on my schedule. Niggas talking, bitches talking, they is not on my level. Check the time, wrist, rolly, rose gold on the bezel. Grab my keys and get my cell and hit the door with a shovel. It's time to get it out the mud, 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 out the mud. It's time to get it.